you're in the mix with other personalities and different people. So now you're finding yourself trying to fit in. But it's important to have a foundation and never forget your foundation because, what people don't know about is I'm speaking for the entertainment side of things. It's definitely a dark cloud around the business. It has its glitz and glamour, but it's definitely a lot of lost souls out here and people that don't know who they are or just lost sight. And it's a lot of temptation. So it's important to remember your values and to walk in your truth. And don't forget who you are. And, in today's world, you're seeing some of your favorite people, giants are falling. People that was at the highest of their career, and you're seeing, they fall short, not even to break another person down. You shouldn't do that to lift your own self up, but you know, following behind people and having idols, it can inspire you, but it's so important to know who you are, not to have idols because they are just like us. Perception is a big thing. Like maybe they're not the person that you think that you thought in your mind that they were, because that's not the reality. The reality is that everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, no one's perfect. So it's just important to don't forget who you are at your core. So those are my tips for anyone trying to make this move, trying to withstand living in a different city that you were never raised in, you didn't grow up here. Those are tools. Those are tools to put in your kit. Those are very important tools. I'm telling you, that is the thing that I think has helped me along the way. One of the biggest things was finding, for example, finding a church home, finding people that had similar journeys to me and was trying to navigate it in similar ways was something that meant so much to me. So that's what I did. And I think that that is the key thing that has helped me along my journey.
So, speaking more on you and your challenges, like what are some things that you got into that maybe you say you didn't think you would ever get into, or some things that you found that you were able to chase and accomplish while being in LA that you never maybe thought you would chase if you were, say, somewhere else?
And so I would say that, well, acting was something that I wasn't really focused on and I wasn't that drawn to, but I kept just having opportunities that would come in. And so acting was one of the things that I decided to just tap into. And then another thing, I started a hat line since I moved here. I've always enjoyed wearing hats, but that was something that just came to me like an epiphany. Um, and God placed it in my heart. And so I was able to find people to help bring my vision to light. I work with an amazing business partner. Shout out to Mark. We were able to start our business from the ground up. So that was something that I was able to tap into that I would have never done back home. So, and then be so successful at it, really have some amazing people purchase my hats from all over the world. It has just truly been a blessing. So that was one of the two main things that I would have never imagined in my wildest dreams that I would be tapped into.
Now, that brings up another question. How important is networking in LA? Maybe break that down for someone who doesn't understand.
Networking is finding a group of people that's like you, that's like minded, that maybe share some of the same interests as you, or maybe you guys can benefit from one another, but connecting with each other and working together to build each other's brands up, or maybe you guys can just encourage each other. Maybe it's not, oh, what can you do for me? What can I do for you? But actually being able to connect with each other and help each other, even if it's not in a physical way, maybe it's in an emotional way. So that would be networking. And I would say living out here or just in any city, it doesn't have to be the entertainment world or any profession. Networking is so important. And I think a lot of people get it misconstrued where they feel like, oh, I have to network so high. No, network with your neighbor, network with your brother or your sister. There are so many people that, or your friends, you can start there, like, and utilize them depending on whatever it is that you're working on. So I think it's important to sort of network in your community first and then, you know, spread it out. But I will say, living in Los Angeles, that is 95% of the thing that contributes to your success is it's not about all the time what you know, it's who you know. So, it could be for a casting, for example, and there's someone in the room who knows my work. That person in that room can vouch for me and go to the main guy who's hiring me for the job and says, I know her work, she works hard. Having someone that can vouch for you in different rooms can really take your career to that next level.
So let's dive deeper into Dani and who you are. What are some challenges that you face trying to get to LA? What are some experiences that you have and some advice you could give others? More personal approach on what you went through to get here and where you are today.
It took a lot. It did take a lot coming here. I didn't even think about my start because I was staying in New York and Harlem, back and forth to Maryland. I was signed to a major, amazing modeling agency. And so I started there. I was also a waitress and I hustled really, really hard while also being in school while I was in college in Maryland also. And so I literally just grinded, saved up a whole bunch of money, grabbed an extra job, a night job, and saved up. And then decided, before even deciding to make the move here, unfortunately, there was a tragedy that happened in my family where I lost my nephew. And I realized, I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to waste any time. I'm like, modeling is great. Like, I was getting amazing opportunities, but I knew that I had so much more to say. I was more than just a face. So I was like, I was in school for nursing. And when that tragedy happened and took place and I lost my nephew, I said, you know, I have to find a thing that really makes me happy. Like I really dug in from within and I was like, God, what is it that you really want me to do? Because I'm like, I love helping people and I love serving in that way, but what do I really want to do career wise? What are those desires in my heart? And I decided I wanted to change my major to journalism. So I did that. And I also knew that I was saying since I was a little girl, since I was in middle school, that I want to move to Los Angeles one day. And so those desires were still at the front of my heart, was literally at the pit of my stomach. And I just felt it in my core that I belonged in Los Angeles. So I did all the saving. Took all the necessary steps to make that move out here. And I kept getting opportunities also when I visited. I had a cousin that lived out here before me. And so we decided, we'll be roommates and um, that was awesome. I thank her so much for that. And being able to, have someone out here and someone that is family and that I knew. And we decided to, because she was out here first, we decided to be roommates. So my situation was kind of set up nice. And I'm glad that I was able to take that leap and make that move. But one of my biggest prayers too was when I lost my nephew, who I was very close to. Rest in peace, Princeton. He has a birthday that's coming up soon. So happy heavenly birthday, baby. Um, I just knew that I wanted what happened, the tragedy, that it was something positive that I wanted to take away from it, because that was one of the first major losses that I took that was so close to home. So I was like, I don't want it to be negative and like I'm mourning the loss of him, but what was all this for? What is God trying to show me? And I think one of the biggest takeaways was that life is so short, and when he is calling you to something, you have to do it. When he calls you, it's important to pick up that call and do his will. So I feel like this was all written in cursive, and it's just crazy that I took the leap, because I don't think without that experience, which is crazy to say, but I don't think I would have left home, because I'm so tight knit with my family. Um, I'm one of the younger siblings. Well, I was the younger sibling for a long time. Now I have younger sisters, but um, and I'm so close to my mom. And I just thought that I would still be back home. And look at me, 6 years later, and I am in Los Angeles doing all of the things. And so, yeah, I think for me, it took losses, it took hard work to get here. And now I'm at this place, and it's still, with every next level, it still requires something from you. So, um, yeah, that was my journey getting here. It was not a crystal stair at all. It was a lot of work. All right, guys. So, with that being said, we have so much to talk about. Thank you guys for listening and getting to know a little bit about me and a little bit about Los Angeles, where I live, and a little bit about the show. So, just to give you guys some insight, we will be discussing some worldwide news, some entertainment news, things about fashion, sports, health, a little bit of everything. We are going to speak about it. So, you guys keep it locked here. Stay tuned, subscribe. I'm just so excited to have you guys here. And if there's any other requests that you guys have, or some things that you think we should talk about, please shoot us a message. But yeah, we are going to talk about it all. We are going to unravel so much. And yeah, I am thrilled. My emotions are through the roof. I am even a little nervous, because this is just something that has been on my heart for so long, and the time has now arrived. And it's just so much to speak on. And so now we have a platform that we love, and that we are going to share all things with you guys here. So keep it locked. I'm your host, Dani. You are tuned in to Speak About It with Dani Talk Show Podcast.